Hello, Brovs. We're back with another Paranormal Kids book. What Does a Witch Need by Ida Delage. I've previously read this book, and I did not know that I have two books from the same author. Perhaps I have more. Let me look at if there's any other books listed under her name, but I don't see any inside the text. And yes, I'm holding it on this picture with hopes that there will be a good thumbnail. Anyway, I can't see any more books listed in Beware, Beware, a Witch Won't Share. Property of Detroit Public Schools. Barely see that, but and it also says Edmondson School Library, which must be the name of the school in Detroit. The poor old witch, what will she do? The poor old witch is sad and blue. She has no cat with soft black fur to watch the fire and blink and purr. What Does a Witch Need by Ida Delage. Drawing by Ted Schroeder. Gerard Publishing Company, Champaign, Illinois, 1971. Fine illustration by Mr. Ted Schroeder. What does a witch need? The old witch sniffed. She wiped her eyes. She blew her nose. Slowly, slowly, she stirred her brew. It was very lonesome in her cave. Her dear old cat was dead. I wish I had a cat, said the old witch. A witch needs a cat as black as ink to stare at the fire and wink and blink. The old witch stirred up her fire. It hissed and smoked. Said the witch. Maybe my fire needs some more wood. So the witch put some wood on the fire. She put on some pine cones and an old bird's nest. Then she blew on her fire. She puffed and puffed, but the fire hissed and smoked. It would not burn. My fire won't burn, said the old witch. I know what's the matter. If I had a cat to stare and blink, my fire would burn as quick as a wink. What's that noise? Said the old witch. She peeked out of her cave. There by the doorway was a little dog. He was crying and howling. He was hungry and lost. Go away, said the old witch. No dogs can come in here. The little dog wagged his tail. Woof, he barked. He sat up and begged. Huh, said the witch. She gave the dog a little bowl of her brew. As soon as the little dog licked up all the brew, he jumped like a frog. He jumped right on the old witch's broom and flew around the cave 5 times. Oh ho, said the old witch. Maybe this dog can do something good. Come here, dog, she said. The old witch put the little dog beside her fire. Now stare, she said. Now wink and blink. The old witch stirred her fire. She puffed and blew. The little dog stared. He winked and blinked, but the fire hissed and smoked. It would not burn. It would not burn. It could not burn. Go away, dog, said the witch. A dog is no good. I need a cat. Only a cat is good for a witch. Then the old witch hopped upon her broom. I have to find a cat, muttered the witch. It's almost Halloween. I have to make my fire and cook a big, big pot of magic toadstool brew. The old witch flew down the hill and across the valley. Just as she flew over the old farmer's barn, the old witch saw something. The farmer's wife was coming out of the barn. She was carrying a big basket. Now, what's she up to? Said the old witch to herself. I wonder what's in that basket. The old witch flew down. She hid behind a tree and peeked out. The farmer's wife put the basket near the road. Then the farmer's wife went into her house. A sign was on the basket. Free kittens. Help yourself. Said the old witch. Free kittens, I wonder if there is one for me. The old witch crept over to the basket and looked in. 6 little kittens rolled and played inside. She saw 1 white one, 2 black and white ones, a calico, a little tiger, and a little black one. Its fur was like midnight. Its eyes were golden moons. The old witch rubbed her bony old hands. Hee, she said. This is my lucky day. I get the first pick. The old witch knew just which kitten she wanted. Suddenly, the old witch heard some laughing and talking. 3 little girls came skipping up the road. The old witch quickly hid behind the tree again. Ooh, look, cried the girls. 3 kittens. Aren't they sweet? I want the little black one, said Molly. I saw him first, said Polly. I'm the oldest, said Dolly. I get to pick first. Oh, ho, said the witch. I'll show those girls who gets to pick first. She looked across the road. There in the meadow was the farmer's bull. He was eating some grass and shaking his horns. Quietly, the old witch opened the meadow gate. All of a sudden, the girls turned around. Right behind them was the bull. He was snuffing and snorting and shaking his horns. I thought this witch had love imprinted on her back as she sends a bull after 3 children. Whist! Those girls ran so fast their curls and pigtails stuck out straight. The old witch cackled, and she laughed. Hee, I'm the one who gets to pick first. She picked up the black kitten. Hee, you little dearie, said the old witch. You little lovely. She put the little black kitten on her shoulder. It rubbed against her cheek and purred in her ear. Now hold on, said the witch. Hold on tight, you little dearie. The little black kitten stuck out her claws and hung on tight. The happy old witch hopped on her broom. Away they flew, back to the witch's cave. What jagged teeth you have, Grandma. There's the love. The old witch put the kitten beside the fire. Now stare, said the witch. Now wink and blink. The old witch stirred the fire. She puffed and blew. The little black kitten stared at the fire with all her might. She winked and blinked. Snap, crackle. The sparks began to fly. The fire began to dance. The pot began to boil. Look at those intent little eyeballs. I knew it, cried the witch. A witch needs a cat. Oh, you little lovey. See my fire dance. See my pot boil. The old witch cackled and she rubbed her bony hands. Now I will go down to my toadstool patch. I will pick my big, fat toadstools and cook my magic brew. The old witch took her basket and hobbled off down the crooked path. Right behind her was the little dog. Shoo, scat, said the witch. Stop following me. But the little dog stayed close behind her. But when the old witch got to her toadstool patch, what did she see? Instead of big, fat toadstools, there was nothing there but 1,000 toadstool stumps. Eek! Shrieked the witch. My toadstools, not schools, are gone. The old witch hopped up and down. She yelled and shrieked, Where are you, you robbers? How dare you steal my big, fat toadstools? She peeked behind the trees. She looked behind rocks, but nobody was there. Said the old witch. Maybe somebody doesn't know this is my toadstool patch. Well, I'll fix that. Keep going. Not welcome. Private property. Poison. Hang. Keep out. Hands off. Do not pick. Get out of here. So the old witch went back to her cave. She made some signs. Keep out. Poison. Do not pick. Private property. Not welcome. Keep going. Hands off toadstools and get out of here. Then the old witch put the signs all around her toadstool patch. The old witch went back to her cave. The little black kitten stared at the fire. The fire danced and leaped. Pff, muttered the witch. What good is my big fire? I have no toadstools to make my magic brew. So the old witch crept into her big old bed. Her kitten purred at her feet, but the little dog was outside all alone. In the morning, the old witch went down to the toadstool patch. There were 1,000 new toadstools popping up all over. I will watch my toadstools, said the witch, that nobody can steal them. But soon her head began to nod. The old witch was fast asleep. Something was pulling at the old witch's sleeve. It was the little dog. Go away, muttered the witch. Woof, barked the dog, right in her ear. The old witch opened her eyes. There in her toadstool patch were 100 fat little gnomes. They were picking her toadstools and stuffing them in their sacks as fast as they could. Eek! Shrieked the witch. Stop stealing my toadstools! But the gnomes kept on picking the old witch's toadstools. The old witch shook her fist. She smacked at the gnomes with her broom. Get out of here, you robbers. But the gnomes hopped around and laughed. Ha 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 ha. Tee. They mocked the old witch and threw toadstools at her. Suddenly, something jumped out. It snapped and snarled. It barked and bit. It was the little dog. He grabbed those gnomes by the legs. He nipped them in the seats of their pants. Yee! Yelled the gnomes. Then they ran far into the woods. The witch cackled. Hee! Nasty little gnomes. Now they'll stay in the woods and pick their own toadstools. Yes, they will. Brave dog, said the witch. Good brave dog. She patted the little dog on the head. Sometimes, said the old witch, sometimes a witch needs a dog. The old witch picked a big basket of toadstools. She cooked a big pot of magic toadstool brew. She poured 3 bowls full, one for herself, one was for her lovely cat, and one was for her brave dog, minus the and. Watch your step. Be careful where you go. It's Halloween night and the moon's aglow. The witch is out with her magic brew. Here she comes, and her eyes on you. Ooh. And there's the pocket. Nobody seemed to have checked this out in Detroit's Edmondson Library, which is probably why it's in my pocket. Or my pocket, my library. There's the witch's broom. Great, bruv. Great. Goodbye. See you next time, bruv. Goodbye.